So,
Danny Klein was a friend of mine who I knew from Nantucket. When I was single, I was going to Nantucket in the summer. We had the Philadelphia group and we had the Boston group. And then Danny, I stayed in touch with Danny Klein. He was a terrific guy. I told him I was going to Harvard for a seminar. And he said, oh, there's a young lady that works for me, does all my typing. He was a guy that did airplane accident investigations, and Brenda did his typing. So he said that she works for a couple of professors at Harvard. You look her up, gave me the name. So when I got to Harvard, I gave her a call, and went out to dinner with her. And I found her to be very, very, very interesting.
funny, interesting, or
Funny, interesting, different than anybody I've ever taken out. So I was there for 10 days, and we went out to dinner every night for 10 days.
Oh my God!
Every night for 10 days?
Yeah, and then I came back to Philadelphia, and I stopped seeing anybody else.
Oh.
I saw your mother from that point on.
Did you fly her into Philadelphia?
No, I had a plane, but I had a pilot. But I used to fly to Boston once in a while. My pilot, or your mother, came in to Philadelphia. A couple of times she brought Lisa in, and we went together for about a year to 2 years. About 2 years we went together. We went back to Nantucket a couple of times, and then we got married. Because I lost a bet.
What do you mean?
Well, we were playing gin rummy in Nantucket on a rainy weekend. A whole bunch of us were up there. And I was actually schneidering your mother, killing her. So she said, look, she said, this is uninteresting. She said, suppose we play for some stakes. I said, what's the stakes? Stakes are whoever wins, the other person has to do what they say. Well, that sounds pretty good. So we played another game. I didn't get a point.
Oh my God!
That was it. We
So
got
she
married.
won, and she said, "You have to marry me."
That's right.
Jeez, and then you went to Simpsons, got her a rock.
I don't know when I got the ring from Simpson.
So you came back from the war, Dad, and after you were shot down, and you stayed in, where did you got a Purple Heart because you were beaten up, and you stayed someplace 6 months before, where did you stay after you bailed out, got beaten up, and you went on, tell us what happened.
What do you mean, when I got bailed out?
Mm-hmm.
I was in Odoni, a town called Odoni. Then the Russians took us by train to Yugoslavia. From Yugoslavia, we picked up 55 Americans who were shot down, various guys. And we had an English major who was there, who was sent over to Yugoslavia to train them how to bomb bridges. And he took us over to Bucharest, Romania, where they had an American mission. The Americans were in Bucharest, Romania. The Russians had taken it over about 6 months before. And we got there waiting for an American plane to pick us up, to bring us back. And we stayed in Bucharest, Romania for about 10 days. And then the Americans were able to fly in, pick us up, bring us back to Italy. Got back to my outfit. And they told me when I got to the outfit that they changed the regulations. I was supposed to go home, but because the regulations were changed, I stayed there and had to fly. Or I could refuse to fly and then give me ground duty. But I saw a couple of guys that did that. They weren't looking at with respect, and I didn't feel like being one of those guys. So I said, okay, I'll continue to fly.
So you would have rather risked your life again.
And I flew for another 24 missions.
And where did you bomb during those 24 missions?
All over.
Germany?
Oh, Germany, Austria, North Italy, Yugoslavia. We bombed all over.
All the enemy territory.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, so you finished the war.
Finished the war, came back by boat called the Mazdam. I came back on a boat called the Mazdam to the States. And stayed for about a month at home and and then went to California for reassignment. Went back to Texas. And by that time, it was August, and the Jap War ended, and I was discharged. Like 2 days after the Jap War ended, I was discharged.
Grandma must have been thrilled.
I was thrilled.
How did you get into business, Dad, after the war?
Yeah, what happened after the war in terms of, did you move back home? Good one. Did you move back home to Grandma's?
Okay.
Yeah, I moved back home to my father's house on 15th Street, and I gave you the write-up.
15th
You read that
Street and
write-up,
what?
that's all you need.
I need your voice. 15th
No, the
Street.
voice is that I can't do any better than the write-up.
Okay,
The write-up is I got into business, and the business I was in was a storm window business.
no, you were selling used cars. All right, we
I
can
was selling used cars to get some money.
I got that one. And then storm windows.
Then I went to storm windows, Seco Steel Products, and we were selling Sears, and that was wonderful. Sears Roebuck really was made.
I learned something from Samantha that I didn't know before. I learned that the East Coast was not aware of vinyl windows, and you brought that, bless you, you brought that to the East Coast.
I didn't bring that to the East Coast. That was long after I started. When I started business, we were making aluminum windows. When vinyl came in,
You invested in vinyl.
yeah, I invested in vinyl.
You were one of the few. A lot of people didn't make that jump.
At the beginning,
And so you started the vinyl business on the East Coast, basically.
Yeah, I started the vinyl business, not the tire business, but I started my.
But you were instrumental. According to
I
the
was
people
one of the pioneers.
at BF Rich, without you, they wouldn't have BF Rich. That's what they were saying to me.
Well, I don't know if they said that to you, but that's not true.
They did.
That's not true. I started in business, and the guy that started BF Rich was a guy by the name of Frank Chaikin, who was a lawyer, and he started in the window business.
But he was small potatoes compared to you.
No, he was not small potatoes.
Well, these people at BF Rich said you were the window man.
You know, I was big. I was one of the first ones in the business.
Yeah.
After the war. But Frank Chaikin was a lawyer, started business, moved to Wilmington. He was a nice guy. We were competitors. And on the sales end of it, we were terrible competitors. We would fight like tooth and nail for a sale. However, if one of the factories had a problem because they ran out of parts, the plant manager would call up the other guy's plant manager and ask if we could borrow some parts.
You get a little business.
And they would, they would say, okay. So they would keep you in business because if you got in trouble, you could call them and they would help you out.
So
there was a different idea where the manufacturing end of it would cooperate with each other and the sales end of it would fight like crazy against each other.
Right.
It was interesting.
What made you, in terms of windows, what gave you that idea? Because people always ask me, what does your dad do? You know what I tell them, Dad?
What?
He was in the window business.
He manufactured
Can
windows.
you want me to finish?
Yeah.
This is what I tell them, and they all look at me with bug eyes. My dad he did aluminum extrusion for windows. Well, what's that? It's the frame. Oh, did he make the metal? I think so. And what did he do with it? Oh, well, Sears, he sold it to...
That was later on. At the beginning, I sold windows manufactured by Seco. When they stopped manufacturing, I started to manufacture windows, aluminum windows, and opened up a lot of dealers all over the East Coast. And then that's how I started the window business.
And you manufactured, like, how many plants did you have and how many men did you employ?
I had one plant in Philadelphia, and I had about 15 warehouses up and down the East Coast.
Because when I was a little baby kid, you would leave for Baltimore several days out of the week.
Baltimore is different. Baltimore, I sold my main business, and I opened up another
Ethan, get Emma!
Another factory in Baltimore.
Why was it easier to make money?
What's that?
Back when you were, 50 years ago.
Yes.
It was easier to make a buck than it is now.
I don't know how easy it is, but that was...
You used to say that you didn't have so much government control.
We had very little. we had,
So it was easier to make money.
it's easy for me, yes.
Okay.
Alright, now back to the nuts and bolts. You were not in business with yourself. You had a part in that article that I read. You were the
Yeah,
marketing
part.
guy. Were you the big mopper, or were you?
No, we were partners.
And what is Airmaster?
That was the name of the company.
That you started.
Yes.
And you sold it to Helmet.
Sold it to Halmet, which was a subsidiary of Pechenay, which was the largest aluminum company in France.
So they bought you and then you got out of the business.
They bought everything. I worked for them for 2.5 years and then got out of it.
So, in terms of my knowledge, when I explain to dates or when I explain to friends,
That was after I sold out and I opened up another small plant in Baltimore. That's why we went down there.
okay. So when you say manufacture, someone sold you steel and you made the actual windows.
Yeah, they sold me the aluminum and I made it.
So you. Okay.
As a matter of fact, I had an extrusion press also in Philadelphia, the tail end of our business, and we extruded our own metal.
What is oh, you made it into a window.
Extrusion,
We made bars of aluminum,
Uh-huh.
and from those bars we fabricated a window.
And Sears was your #1 client.
Sears was #1.
You didn't sell to homeowners, you sold to big commercial.
We sold to home improvement dealers.
Okay.
We sold to Sears. We sold to large contractors. We did not sell direct to a homeowner.
To the end user. And what was the name, the stores you had up and down, what were they called? What were the name, did you say, oh, you had dealers up and down the East Coast that you visited?
Yeah, dealers.
Okay. I remember Dad used to own Daddy, I thought your business closed down and you sold the parts. I didn't realize that you sold an active business to someone.
Yeah, we did.
Helmut is a German company or a French? Was it a French company?
Halmet?
Yeah.
Halmet was owned by Pechenay, which was a French aluminum company.
And then I remember you getting into patches. And then
What's that?
you got into like a patchwork thing. You were
Patchwork.
selling patches of some sort.
I don't know.
And then an ice skating rink.
Well, there was a lot of stuff I went into, but none of it was very interesting.
When you met Mom, were you involved in YPO?
Oh, yes. When I met your mother, I was very much involved in YPO. It was in 1962, and I was very much involved in YPO. And when we got married in Philadelphia, she got into YPO. She was very good. She was a very good addition. She contributed quite a bit, and she met Judy. Was the first one she met, and then she met Janet.
This bio that you gave me to read said that you were president of the Philadelphia YPO.
1 year I was president of the chapter, yes.
That must have been a big deal.
Nah, it's okay. Anything else? Because I gotta go.
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
We can turn it off now, Ethan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.